How y'all doing today? You know my saying, if all is not well, then do what? Speak life so your words become the seed and the water, and you can actually speak life and grow life, right? That's why we speak life over the words. So greetings everybody. I'm Jazzy Gems. As you come in the room, can you please hit the like button? If you watch the replay, please hit the like button. That's very important. Just that little like button up there, yes. And if you can hit that subscription button, hit that subscription button. Yes, follow your girl. Yes, greetings, greetings. So I have been talking lately about ancestry. We have been learning about past lives. We have been learning about our history overall. So, not sure if you saw my video about the Naga serpent people or the Naga civilization. Please make sure you watch that video if you have not seen that video, because that video explains how we are the original Asiatic man. We are the original. Okay, I'm sorry. But we are the original people of Asia. Asia, the etymology of Asia means a total body of land. So when we talking about a total body of land, we talking about Pangea. We talking about a land mass. We're talking about Tartaria. We're talking about Atlantis, where all the lands are connected, right? Okay, so once upon a time, our people lived in this land called Pangea. So they was one at one time. One point in time, they was together. According to history, if we go back to prehistoric times, greetings, greetings. If we go back to prehistoric times say that these people were living in unity. That's how we gonna do that. Yeah. Hey, hey, go, can you come get her, please? Cause I don't know. I'm on here and she doing too much. Gratitude. But anyway, greetings, greetings. Back to what I was saying. Hey, greetings, greetings, Black Rocket. What is it? Black Rokel. Greetings, one box. Greetings. I know who you are. I'm jacking your name up, but I know who you are. Greetings, my brethren. Yes, greetings, greetings. Okay, so we've been talking about I was saying, if you haven't seen my video about the Naga civilization, please make sure you go watch that. Because in that video it explains how we the Naga civilization. Not only that, it explains how we inscripted in the wilds how we would go into captivity. It was inscripted in the wilds that we could sing and we could dance. It was inscripted in the wilds who we are as a people. I mean, it was so inscripted in the wild that we have villages down in Cambodia, right? And the temples, it was 50 temples and they had 50 faces carved on them. The Olmec faces carved on these 50 temples. And the 50 temples represented the 50 states. So we predicted this in the prehistoric times and carved it in stone. But a lot of people have no idea about the Naga civilization. And you learning about the Naga civilization, you will find out that When the further you go down deep inside of your ancestry, you gonna run into the Asiatic man in your ancestry. So what do I mean by that? You gonna run into a part of your ancestry, because I'm gonna tell you, all the lives I've been doing, I don't know if you've been watching, I don't know if you've been paying attention, how we been going through the past lives, and how, because you seen the guy, did you see the image of the picture that's up on my what is it called, my thumbnail? So the image that's up there is one of the lives that I ran up on when I was doing my past life reading. So in my past life reading, I found a lot of people that look just like me. Just like me. Like not AI, none of that. Like look just like me. You get what I'm saying? Like, because your DNA don't lie. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that I found family members, the fact I've been teaching us that we come from Austria, I've been finding family members in Austria that look just like me. I have been finding family members from Scotland that look just like me. I have been finding family members from Armenia that look just like me. So we can't sit here and be ignorant no more and say, well, those are Europeans and we're the African, because that's some man-made stuff right there. Because I found out through study that England, first and foremost, I want you to know, England actually mean inland. Look up the etymology of the word England. Please do it for me. The etymology of the word England. Then people will stop playing with you. Because when people talk about Eurasian people, you need to prop your ear up because they talking about you. But you've been reclassified so many times that you forgot that you were the Asiatic Eurasian man, because that is the man that's in the Bible. That is the man that got inheritance to the land. That is the man that got birthrights to the land. That's the man that will be recognized as a man in the land, because that's a God. You have to understand that. You have to understand they have reduced us down to where we are no longer inside of our God selves. You know, we have been reduced down into human form. That's why in the Constitution it said we was what, 3/5 of a human? Why? Because we was not never meant to be human. We were gods. Understand that. Understand we was miseducated. Understand that we misinterpreted some things and we misunderstood some things about our history because we was falsely educated. There is a Rockefeller education system that was put into place that led us astray. Okay, so let me show you this. Let me show you this. We were showing these maps the other day, right? There you go. There you go. Look at, you can't make this up. Look at the nose, lips, eyes, eyebrows, ears, facial shape. But he has on a turban. He has on fine linen, so he's from India, right? So remember I said that we the Nagas and we used to live in India? Well, clearly, as you can see, my ancestors who in my bloodline are communicating to me, letting me know that. So that's how come I'm getting all this knowledge from India. Because from the jump street, since I've been going live, I've been talking about Sri Lanka. I've been telling y'all since I was 4 years old. My childhood friend name was Sharomi. Sharomi was from Sri Lanka, India. Sharomi taught me about Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna, Lord Ganesh, Kali Ma. You know, these, they hanging up on the walls. I'm over her house. We children. Who is that? 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 So you know I'm in school, but I don't know I'm in school, right? Because I'm little. I don't know I'm in school. I think I'm playing with my Barbie dolls. But I'm learning about my true history. So why I'm telling you that is because I want you to understand some of the things that you was learning about when you was little. You was connecting to your past. But because we are blind in our mind to our past, because I never would have went looking in India for my ancestors. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I never in a million years would have went to India looking for my ancestors. Never. But I found them. Well, he found me. But let me show you this. I don't know, HSW, he say you dropping this for the free. Some people try. I know, I tell people that all the time. I do. That's why I be like, I got the little, you could gift there, you could do the thank you could do the stickers, you could do the membership. It's a donation there. I got a website. I got different ways people can support. And I do say that people can support because I do it for the free. Because I do realize people can charge a lot of money for this information, but I do it for the love of the people. But I be wanting people to show the reciprocity. You know what I mean? Because I do realize that I could, it could be a very lucrative income. But however, how people gonna know this? Because a lot of people really not gonna pay for this knowledge. To be quite frank, honest, only people that know what's up, and that's only like what 5% of people. So the 85% of people just ain't gonna even know. They ain't gonna even know. So people like us that do know that this is valuable information, we the people that keep the information going. We be the people that donate. We be the people that support. We be the people that know it's valuable information. Because everybody don't know. But look at here. So remember I was talking about England, right? So according to this map right here, look at England. See how many people would say that you know how many people would say European this and European that, and they ain't gonna even look in England? Cause I bet 9 times out of 10, do y'all last name? I bet y'all last names originate from England. I sit right here. Go Google y'all last name and see where does the origins of your last name come from. I'm serious. I'm gonna sit here and wait. I'm gonna sit here and wait. Go ahead. Even if y'all got a second device, ask somebody in the room. I sit right here. I won't even say nothing while you gone. I would just sit right here and wait for you because I want to show you something. I want to show you something. I'm being quiet because I'm taking it. Y'all really going to look up y'all last names, but okay. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. UK origin. Interesting. Look at Eric. Okay, England. hmm hmm Okay. Oh, interesting. hmm Interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? Either that's one hell of a coincidence, or I just might know what I'm talking about. Either that's one hell of a coincidence, or I might just know what I'm talking about. So the fact that I done found a lot of my past life ancestors, I really do. I am doing past life readings. It's in the description. My website link is in the description of this video if you would like to book a past life reading. And I'm gonna help you get this together if that's what you want to do, because I got mine together. And I really want you to do it because, come here, we cousins. Yeah, we cousins. So I kind of need your family history too because your family history is relevant, very relevant here. Very relevant here. You understand? Because everybody got a piece of the puzzle here. You are a piece of the puzzle here, too. Okay? And why I say that? Because let me show you something else. I bet y'all. I bet. Look at y'all waking up knowing y'all self. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this right here so people got my website, okay? Cause you know people gonna watch the after play, the replay, and you know all that good stuff too, but they'll be able to get this website, right? Okay, okay. We got that going. Okay, so the okay, so I don't know if y'all been watching. I don't know if y'all been watching them videos I've been putting up here on YouTube. Make sure y'all get them videos. I know some of them is real long, but they worth it. I'm telling you, because we uncovering all of this type of knowledge like this. So what ended up happening in February of this year, February the 22nd to be exact, my cousin passed away. The oldest, one of my oldest cousins, she was in her 80s. So a matriarch in my family. She passed away. I seen on TikTok that they said the last cherry tree had failed. I'm like, what does that mean? The last cherry tree fell. My cousin passed away. Was that some type of hit and cold? You know, it ain't sit right with me. You know, somebody else, they probably ain't think nothing of it. But me, something in my blood was like, man, what is that supposed to mean? You know. So I had ended up picking up this book that said Mississippi Trail of 1955. On that paper that say 1955, the 1955, it had an image of my brother that passed away. His eyes was on the boy face. To where I was like really confused because why is my brother eyes on this book? Like I went and got my brother obituary out, and on my brother's obituary, he got a childhood picture of him on his obituary. And this childhood picture of my brother is the same childhood picture that's on this book. So I'm over here thinking I'm tripping, right? You feel what I'm like? No, for real, y'all. I'm over here thinking I'm tripping, right? So I'm like, what does this mean? So I went to sleep. I woke up. That's when I knew I had to put this on trail. I just started knowing stuff. And that day, I went live on TikTok and I said, we put in Mississippi on trail. I opened up my panel. I had people come on and speak and talk. And this is how all this information started. So it is a year, almost a year's worth of information. So it started out in Mississippi. We started learning so much about Mississippi. We had people from Mississippi on here teaching us stuff on the live. People from Mississippi giving us word of mouth history from their grandma, from their granddaddy, from their uncle, from their aunt, how the Delta was created, how they made it with their hands. Like, did you even know that they made the Delta with their hands? They formed it with their hands. And the reason they formed it with their hands, because they wanted to send it in different directions. Because remember in the Bible, it said that the river broke off into 4 different branches. So the river goes north, south, east, and west. So when these ancient people was living here on the land, they actually created this river flow with their hands. Okay? And that's how the streams started coming through and the rains started to build up. And this is how we got our waterways, right? I mean, they had elephants out there too to help them do some of the work, but the main part of the story is that these people built this delta up with their hands. Yes, gratitude, gratitude. And something that was so beautiful about the delta that got me thinking, the fact our ancestors' DNA is in that delta. The fact our ancestors literally built this land up from the mud up. They built everything on the land. So that's how powerful your DNA is. Like, that your DNA is connected to this land. Your DNA connected to these streams, to these ponds, to these rivers, to these trees, to the bugs, to everything that is in the universe. You are connected to that. That is ancestral, literally. But I wanted you to see, I'm serious about doing them past life readings. Because I went down the bloodline, like real spill, like real spill. Like, DNA don't lie. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you, like, I was this person and I was that person and I was that, because I have no memory of being none of these people. But I do know a lot about these people. Why? Because I share a bloodline connection with these people. Because our DNA is from these people of the land. So when I say we cousins, I'm serious about that. Because you can look at her, and I'm pretty sure it's somebody in your family that look like this. Because my mama looked like this. My aunts look like this. My grandma look. We could go on and on and on about who in the family looks like this. This is these are dominant genetic traits here. You get what I'm look at the almond shaped ass. Almond shaped ass. Check out her little pudgy nose. I don't have that nose. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. My grandma and them got a nose like that. The little, the lips, even the skin color, because it's a deep copper. The high cheekbones, you know, that's Cherokee, right? Because most of us are Cherokee, right? Okay. So, like I say, we cousins, but you know, this I'm helping people find themselves for real. Mm-hmm. Okay, so look at this. Let me show y'all something else. Uh, it's so real. It's so serious. Like, so y'all know this Abraham Lincoln, right? You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make up genetics. And this is why every single picture of everybody in history was whitewashed. Everybody in history was whitewashed. Y'all get that? Because when they showed us Abraham Lincoln, he didn't look like this. But yet the penny copper color. Make it make sense. Oh, I got him with the turban on too, but you know, because you got to think, they did, they did so much to us. They did so much to us. But they whitewashed the truth. And if you're not aware of what whitewashing is, I need for you go right here on YouTube and watch you a video about what whitewashing is. Because then you will understand it was a reason they showed you paintings of, I mean, think about it. Jesus was white. When they showed you a picture of Jesus, Jesus was white. When they showed you Moses, he was white. When they showed you whoever they showed you, he was white too, right? Why is that? Why is everybody? I mean, why is? Did you even read? Did you even read the what's her name? Francis Well Isis paper. She even teach you that when you eat the baby food, you feeding your baby the little Gerber food. The little baby on the Gerber jar is don't look like you. So this is racism being taught to you at a young age. You're being taught segregation. You're being taught Jim Crow. You being taught magic. Your man being divided. Right brain, left brain, female brain, man. You know they divide because that's the Willie Lynch letter, right? They dividing your man, right? Because now you seeing people that don't look. Now you're confused. Cause you have to think about it. Babies get confused when they see somebody different. If I took you in a room full of Asian babies right now, them Asian babies will be confused. Why? Cause you don't look Asian. That's it, and that's all. The baby ain't racist. The baby just realized that you look different from everybody else that the baby used to seeing. Hell, I got little cousins that's little light skinned little babies. And when I take my little chocolate self over their house, they be scared. My little light skinned cousins be scared of me. Because you know everybody in their house light skinned. And then here I come looking different because you know you had that. The baby used to people that look like them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that you being racist. It's just, that's like a bird. If you ain't got wings, the bird ain't messing with you. Like, what's up with your beak? What's up with your wings? Like, why? What's up? Why you ain't got? Are you a bird? You know what I'm saying? The bird gonna wanna know is you a bird. Not that the bird racist. It just wanna know is you a bird. You know, is you me or what? What's up? So that's why we got whitewashed. That's why we wasn't able to see ourselves, you know. And then they really wasn't gonna show you being a president. They wasn't gonna show you being a king. They wasn't gonna show you ruling. And why would they showed you picking cotton? They forgot to mention that you created the cotton. You created the cotton strand. You created two cotton strands. You actually, you was in the laboratory creating all type of shit. They not gonna tell you that part, but yeah, they'll tell you. Yes, yes. But check this out. Check this out. So, um, like this. This how we used to look. They not gonna show you this. Why would they show you this? Like they not gonna show you that you used to be a warrior and you used to walk around with a shield and you used to walk around with a sword and you had a spear and you had daggers and you had like stars and ninja stars. You're like, they not about to tell. Why would they tell you that? Cause then you gonna mess around and remember, and then you gonna want your land back. You gonna mess around and remember how to use your ancient technology. You gonna mess around and remember how to survive in the woods that they programmed you not to live in. You gonna mess around and figure out how to be one with this land that they took you off of. See, when you was one with the land, the trees was walking around. Did you see Maleficent? I'ma need you to go watch Maleficent. For real. Because it was a point in time the trees was walking around, the everything was alive. It's alive right now, but it's Medusa frozen. It's stuck. So it was a time where the flowers was walking around, the bugs, everything was in harmony with one. Like everything was connected. Like if one animal, like one little ant suffered, we all was affected by that. One little ant suffered because it would affect the ecosystem. like an echo, it would affect the ecosystem. It would have a domino effect. So they knew. Remember when we was little, we wouldn't step on ants. Remember we used to say that. We used to be like, don't step on them ants. It's gonna rain. Remember we used to say that back when we was magical. Cause some people be like, y'all was just children. No, we was magical. Cause we used to be outside like, don't step on the ant. It's gonna rain. Remember when we was little, we used to be like, it's gonna rain. You could smell it. You could smell the rain coming. We was magical when we was children. Remember we was making mud pies. We was forming the earth. We didn't even know it. Little alchemists out there forming the earth, molding the earth, being one with the earth, the minerals, being one with the ancestors. I even had a memory of being a child. Y'all remember we used to run from vampire bats? I said, damn, we sure did. Cause you don't want to be the one outside with the red shirt on, remember? When the street lights going off. You know, you only got a few minutes before you got to get to the crib. Greetings, Tarina. You only got a few minutes before you need to get to the crib. And them bats will be coming low. You'll be like, they gonna get me. Y'all remember that? I know I ain't the only one was running from vampire bats. I don't know what made me think. Like, I've been going back to my past a lot lately, but I was just like, damn. So we knew about vampires when we was little. So, shit, we knew. Remember when we was little? The red birds, we'd see a cardinal, we'd be like, that's the ancestors. We, we ain't even know what an ancestor was, but yet, we knew that them red birds was ancestral. We knew that people died and went to heaven and they turned into birds. We knew that when we was little. We knew that when we was little. But some kind of way, when we became prisoners of war, they made us forget. Because we wore feathers to honor our ancestors, right? They called us Indians, but we were just honoring our ancestors. We was in tune with nature. See, those birds was messengers. Because they was ancestors. They were angels, right? So that bird would come from my village, and maybe I need to holler at you or something. So why I tell, my little hawk or whatever, you know, whoopty whoopty whoop and whoopty whoopty whoop. And so my hawk gonna come over there, you gonna see it in the sky like phew, phew. You gonna be like, put your little hand out, my hawk gonna come give you the message. You gonna send me the message back. Whoopty whoopty whoop and whoopty whoopty whoop and whoopty whoopty whoop, and it's gonna fly back to me. We had crows, we had falcons, we had ravens, we had hawks, we had turkeys. Go check your history. Eagles, go check your history. Go look at the Indian feathers. Just go back and look at the Indians. The people was walking around with Indian feathers. And I don't even know if this even crossed your mind, but don't every state got a state bird? I told y'all I'm cold with them readings now. You want to book that read, and I'm telling you, man. Listen, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yes. Yes. We was in tune with them birds because that's how we fly and that's how we soar. So guess what? We need to start getting them feathers, y'all. We need to start. So feathers mean different things. I got a book. No, I could put together some classes, but I got a book that break all that down. Them feathers mean different things, but we got to learn what that mean as a people, because it ain't like I've been wearing feathers. I was programmed too. I was whitewashed too. I was brainwashed too. I was put in the concentration camps too. Remember Anne Frank? Do y'all remember Anne Frank? Because I used to feel sorry for Anne Frank. I remember they made me read that in third grade. And I was up there like, dang, that's messed up. They took her from her beautiful house in the castle and put her in the damn ghetto. Didn't know I was living in the ghetto at the time, but got the nerve to be feeling sorry for somebody that's living in the ghetto. Ain't that some stuff? I mean, because when they say that they mocked the Christ, they damn sure did. They damn sure did. Because we living in the hood like a mug. We living in the projects like a mug. And we sitting up here in school learning about some little Jewish girl that got uprooted from her nice, luxury, wealthy lifestyle and got stuck in the ghetto. I said, well, shit, I can relate to that. Because I damn sure got put in the ghetto. Yes. Mm-hmm. And Frank a little deeper than what you think. Because it ain't that little girl they was talking about. Hmm. They was talking about us. And that Schindler List, allegedly, let me say that for just because legal purposes or whatever, I guess, but allegedly. But that Schindler's List, allegedly, is that $5 Indian list. I don't care what nobody say. Allegedly. Because I sat and watched that movie. And I sat and I cried. And I sat and I felt some type of way. And I sat and I watched all them people sign their little name on the little paper. Because they ancestors was in concentration camps and all that. And I was feeling bad for them people. I really was. But then I learned about the American Holocaust. I ain't saying I don't care what happened to other people, but let me tell you about the American Holocaust. Can I? Because American Holocaust, my people was like this, okay? So, American Holocaust, wow. Not her name, Ann Lass. But you know who Marie Frank really is? That's Queen, what's her name? Annie, not Annie Boyle, but Mary. Mary is Annie Boyle's daughter. Oh yeah, I got an e-booklet too. I got an e-booklet too called Something About Mary. Y'all gotta get that e-booklet if y'all haven't. It's on my website. It's if you go on my website and send me a message directly on the website and let me know, hey, I want that Mary e-booklet, I'll send you the link so you can purchase it and then you'll be able to download it. It's PDF form. But in that book, I'm breaking down who this royalty really is. And this royalty really is your bloodline. And I'm breaking down from 1600 all the way, you will be able to wherever because most of us cannot trace our bloodline past 1865. You know why? Because that was the Emancipation Proclamation. During the Emancipation Proclamation, there were some legal proceedings, there were some name changes, and there were a lot of changes of policies. It was a lot of treaties, it was a lot of contracts. We wasn't here in 1865, so we ain't signed nothing, we ain't read nothing, we ain't looked at nothing, we don't even know what documents were signed for real. So this where we at now. We got to go back and figure out what all happened here because in 1865 something went wrong. I know because those videos I told you to go watch, my YouTube videos, I told you we put Mississippi on trial, so I got receipts. So check this out. And what is it? First of all, did you know that Mississippi didn't find out that slavery was over until the 90s, so they say? Then the second thing is, okay, so let me give you some more history about our people here. Um, when I tell y'all I'm serious, look, I want to show y'all this too. So what is this? A oak tree? What do you know about trees? That an oak tree is one of the oldest living trees. A oak tree is indigenous here. This is a southern oak tree. Actually, it's called an angel oak tree. The oak trees in the south look different from the oak trees in the north. Not that I'm a treeologist, but I noticed when I go down south, they look like this. When I come back up north, they don't look like this. That made me go down the rabbit hole. But you should go down the rabbit hole too because aren't you a plant that came from a tree? And the tree of life is where South Carolina is to where Florida is. That is where the Garden of Eden is. You see this tree is 1,500 years old. Your history is 1,500 years old according to this tree. Because if they know this tree 1,500 years old, who documented that it was 1,500 years old? So they was using this tree as a way to tell time. Because that's what they say the tree of life is, right? Because that's what I got from the tree. Like, because this is an important tree. People paying money to go see this tree. How come you and I don't know about this tree? Because we got kicked out the garden, remember? We not supposed to know about this tree. It's a bunch. They said in the Bible, it was what, 12 trees in the garden? Well, actually, it's way more than that. But you know how many trees in the garden that we need to be talking to? I mean, because I ain't trying to be funny, but y'all all seen Pocahontas, right? And when Pocahontas out there talking to that tree, the tree was talking back in the cartoon, right? But you supposed to just think that's a cartoon. You supposed to not know that that's real. You not supposed to look into that. Right. Out there talking to a whole tree. She was chopping it up with grandma tree. Just so these old trees was talking, man. These old trees was giving us wisdom. These old trees was telling us how to make medicine. These old trees was telling us how to live off the land. Cause didn't she say that's the grandma? She said that's my grandma. So became their ancestral trees. Because do you know they used to plant their placentas, right? And from the placentas would grow a tree of life. Didn't you know that's where? I think I got an image of it. A lot of people don't realize that. Well, hey, that's close enough. That's close enough. But that's how a placenta would look. And these would be the different veins, which would be bloodlines, right? So that's your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your granddaddy. Your grandma got a mama and a daddy and a uncle, and that split up and you see, when we talk about the tree of life, these trees got many different branches, and these branches represent a lot of different people that are connected. Just because they come out the same tree, they still look alike. They still have features. They represent one another, right? They offspringing off one another. So that is what your ancestry is. So when you get past life regression readings, you tapping into this ancestry. You tapping into these different branches. You tapping into these different families. You tapping into these different bloodlines, which is all you. Because you still the tree. Even though the tree got many different branches, it got many different leaves, it got many different twigs. That's you. So you have many different appendages of yourself. Yes, ancestry. You have many different appendages of yourself, but yet all of them is you. Now, the thing is, what type of fruits do you bear off of these trees? So this where you go back and check your ancestors to see what kind of fruit they bear. Because whatever kind of fruit they bear, that's what kind of fruit you gonna bear, right? Unless you become an alchemist and change your seed. Because you might find out that some of your ancestors wasn't bearing good fruit. You might find out some of your ancestors was lost. You might find out some of your ancestors was blind and couldn't see. So this is why you learning about your ancestry, your ancestral history, is going to help you to become the greatest version of yourself. Why? Because you could go and correct things. You could go and talk to people that messed up. You could go and talk to people that felt short. You could go and talk to people that didn't know what to do. And they will tell you what to do. Why? Because you are their only hope because they live inside your tree. They want you to win. They want you to heal the family. They want you to correct it. They want you to get it together. They sent you here. They was like, we finna come together and send this seed here. Cause this seed right here, that's what they said when they had you. They was like, this seed right here, and you came into the world. And they was proud. They said, for unto us a child has been born. That child is gonna save us. That's gonna be our savior. That's gonna be our Messiah. That's gonna be our anointed one. That's gonna be our chosen one. That's gonna be the one right there to right our wrongs. That one right there gonna break the generational curses. That one right there, they betting on you. Don't let them down. They betting on you. That's why they giving you all the tools that you need to get the tree together. That's why we right now we in a state of learning about Big Mama. We in a state of learning about the way things used to be. We going back. Because it's a reset right now. It's a reset in the land. I know y'all feel it, see it, smell it, hear it, taste it. It's a reset in the land. And baby, I don't know if y'all heard, but if you listen real good, you can hear her walking. Big Mama, she humming. Now she drag her feet when she walk. And she dragging her feet, but she stepping and she humming. And she taking her time. Cause she ain't about to rush for nobody. You know how Big Mama is. You know how Big Mama is. But I'm going to tell you what Big Mama coming to do. She coming because she said it's about to be some changes around here. And what she said. Because you got to think Big Mama was locked up. Did you see that? Didn't you see the color purple? Big Mama was locked up, bro. Yeah. So in 1800, whatever went down, they locked Big Mama up, right? I'm telling you, for real respect. In 1800, something went down. And I'm going to tell you how I know. We did a live. In one of them past lives I got, not sure which one, but remember the Buffalo Soldier coat? Inside the Buffalo Soldier coat, there is a map. Inside that map, it says that the stars fell out the sky in 1830. Noted. It also say the following year that the sun went black. Noted. So it was an asteroid storm. There was an eclipse. There was a bunch of solar stuff going on in the sky in the 1800s. I even found out that Shaka Zulu was born in the 1800s. And when Shaka Zulu came into the world, it says that the Nile River, it say stars was falling out the sky into the Nile River in July, because his birthday in July. Then I found out, that's Leo season, right? So it was in Leo season. There were a few different kings that rose up in the land. Not just one. It was a few of them. And they knew that these kings was coming. Because it say in the Bible, in the book of Asher, that they just conveniently took out the Bible. It say in there that Nimrod had put a hit out on all the little boys in the land. So Nimrod would be our people, right? So our own family then put the hit out on all the little boys that's coming in the family. Because he didn't want none of the little boys in the family to rise up and become king. He knew that these kings was coming. So he had ordered the midwives to unalive all the little boys in the land. They was unaliving babies in the land because of the orders of the Pharaoh. You have to think, if the Pharaoh was ruling in the land, you can't do nothing but do what the Pharaoh say. And that's how the kingdom ended up falling too, because they started getting greedy and wicked and envious and jealous, and all the seven deadly sins against their own flesh and blood. And they fell. They fell. Our family fell. Because we angels. We a family of angels. And a lot of our family fell. And a lot of the ones that fell took oaths that they would wage war against us. They took oaths that they was going to keep us suppressed. They took oaths that they was going to keep us down. They took oaths that they was going to keep the truth hidden from the prudent, which is us. They vowed that. But it's a new day, because I told you them footprints. I told you. Them footsteps is getting closer and they getting louder. And that humming getting clearer. And she keeps saying, Sophia, home now. Baby, don't worry about nothing. I'm coming. Because that's how powerful wisdom is. And they don't want no smoke with the cosmic mother. Because you know how the cosmic mother rolls. She be like, I brung you in this motherfucker. I'll take your ass out. And who won't smoke with somebody that we already talked about how lethal their mama mouth is? They'll tell you they'll knock you in the middle of next week and they'll put you in another family and all. That's why they bridle her mouth. They know Sophia ain't to be played with that mouth. Because that's a two-edged sword and they ain't got nothing for that. Because they told you when God coming with that sword. They told you God ain't coming to play with nobody. They told you that in the Bible, but a lot of us don't read the Bible. Because we knew that, we know that it is a black woman coming and she mad as hell. And she taking her earrings off. That's scary. That's why they portrayed us as angry black women, because they knew Big Mama, the sole proprietor of our generation, was coming back. They knew that. They knew they only had so much time that they could do so much dirt. But time is up. Yeah. They know what's up. They know this the year of the snake. She is the snake. Come on now, y'all. Ain't she the serpent in the tree? Stay woke. Stay woke. She is the serpent in the tree. You is the tree. She the serpent that's in the tree. That's your wisdom. The scepter shall never depart from Judah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Naga serpent. So hopefully I did a good little laugh, because I don't want to be on here too much longer. But I had to bring my YouTube family up the par, because I did like neglect and jump off the ship and leave. But I've been on trail. I had Mississippi on trail, y'all. Nah. But we pretty much, I'm bringing everything over here to y'all so y'all can know what we know now. Cause now we need y'all to know so we can all be together on this. Cause we're family. Yeah, we're family. Yeah. So like I was saying, if y'all are interested in the past life readings, please make sure you look down in the description of this video so you can book a past life reading. Or if you're interested in that Mary ebook, I got to laugh about something about Mary. Go back and watch that Mary laugh, and then you will know if you want the book. Because I'm going to tell you, the books is real good because it's a lot of knowledge. I'm telling you. But in the book, you need the book because I'm breaking down some stuff to you that you need to know about our family. You know what I'm saying? It's our family history. You know what I'm talking about? Real spit. Real spit. Because then we start talking about stuff, and then people that ain't in our family ain't going to know what we talking about. Because then we going to be like, ah. But yes. And then, too, just to let y'all know, I do have some gemstones available on my website. Um, yeah, I don't got none of them on here. Let me see. Let me see. Wait. Oh, I want to show y'all this. I didn't get to. Yeah, since we talked about the Naga serpents, and we talked about the ancient ancestors, and we talked about reuniting with our Euro Asiatic self, Eurasian self. These are Eurasians. These are your people. And they have samurai swords. Look at Tamika, like, can we do more than one reading? Girl, yes. I mean, girl, yes. But it's very interesting because it's going to tap you in to your ancestry. It's gonna send you down rabbit holes. Don't worry about that. You go don't worry about you gonna be down the rabbit hole. Trust me. Okay? But yes, look at us with the samurai sword. So we was teaching our babies how to carry swords and how to fence. Our babies knew how to defend themselves. They knew how to protect themselves. They knew how powerful this was. They knew it was a weapon. They knew, and in order for you to be a samurai warrior, you have to have a drop of this blood, of this melanated, the melanin. No, seriously, because the melanin is not about being black. They taught us that when they brainwashed us. Your melanin is literally from the sun. You, your original ancestor is the sun. Okay, come on. Don't get me started on Mulan. Okay, you want to see Mulan? You want me to show you my ancestor, our ancestor? She look like I look like her. You want to see Mulan? I'm gonna show you Mulan, cause I be over here channeling and get. Come on, you want to see? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Let me get her up here. Wait. Hold on. Did I just seen her? Did I scroll past? I scrolled too fast. Okay, here it is. I knew I had just seen her up here. I'm like, did I scroll too fast? You see her afro? Look at her afro. That's royalty. That's royalty. So you see, she a Japanese samurai. You see, she's a Japanese samurai right here. But she Eurasian with copper skin. You see this? You see those high cheekbones and those almond cut. You see that? Yeah. So I got a whole story behind who, I got the whole, look, I got her daddy. I got the whole rundown. Okay, check dig. Check dig. I'm serious about our family history. Like I'm so serious about this. I'm not playing. I'm not playing about our family history right now. And if you could tell, uh, look at our history run deep, bro. Our history runs really, really deep. You understand? DNA. Stretch it back to the sun. I stretch man back to the sun. The sun, the moon. Well, it was the moon first, then it was the sun, then here come Mars and Jupiter, But I'm just saying, I could go back and trace them back to there. Um, and then this my favorite one right here. People think that this is AI generated. It's not. Do you know who this is? Cause I always talk with my hands, and people be like, "Why you got the?" I don't know. Maybe in another lifetime I did stuff with my hands. I don't know, but okay. Cause I do be. If you ever take my lives, I be on here like, and another thing, and let me tell you, and look over there. I talk with my hands, but like I said, you be being yourself. But if you don't know yourself, you don't be knowing that this is your gift. Like my hands are very powerful. I used to cut people hair. I still cut hair. I do hair. I touch brains. My hands are very powerful, okay? I touch brains for a living, okay? So this is Sophia Maria from Italy. She from Rome, Italy. Now, if any of y'all remember from the beginning of my lives, when I did my first past life reading 5 or 6 years ago, and I found out I was Felicita in another lifetime. Felicita is her name in Latin. Sophia Marie is her name in Italian. She has a name Ionia Adunina in Austria. Like I done found myself in a lot of listen, okay? But anywho, the eyes don't lie. I didn't have this done. I didn't do this. How did my eyes? Because you don't have to believe me, but I just want to ask you, how did my eyes get on this woman's face? Because eyes don't lie. Eyes is the windows to the soul. And in fact, I'm able to pull these images up of people from past life and they got my ass. I done pulled up my daddy with his ass. I done pulled it. The shit was scaring me. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't realize that there was the gift being unlocked. But y'all, if y'all go watch the videos that's on TikTok, we is on TikTok looking at these videos, and I'm finding people faces, and I'm on the camera crying, and oh my God, what my grandma face doing on that lady face, you know. So now I gotta go down rabbit holes, cause why do you got my daddy face? So that's how I started realizing we a little closer kin and closer connected than what we think. And these worlds are intertwined and interlooped a little more than what we think. So that's how I started unraveling my DNA, uncoding, decoding. Because if you notice, I don't know if y'all been noticing, we've been decoding the mess out the Bible. I found out she a Sybil and wrote the Bible. She the one wrote the 7 letters to Philadelphia. That's why I know that the 7 letters is the 7 states. And the 7 states was her 7 sons that lived in the 7 states that got beheaded. Like, come on now. I know, because it's my past life. I know. But now it's making sense. Because it's like, before I didn't know this, I'm like, how do I know all this stuff? And then I would be telling people the stuff I know. People would be like, well, people thinking I'm crazy. And people be like, you think you know everything. And people, you think you better than somebody. Like, I'm getting persecuted, bro. But she got persecuted. Why? Because she had a gift. And I got the gift too, apparently, because it's in the bloodline, right? You know what I'm saying? And we be inheriting these gifts. And we leave off where we left them. But we lack knowledge that we was once upon a time these people. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't be in tune with our avatars. Our avatars is our past lives. We don't be in tune with that. Who teaches us about Avatar? We think Avatar is a cartoon. We don't know that it's real documents. That's your documented history. That's what they did. They destroyed the trees, your ancestry connection. They destroyed, they messed up the ecosystem. They destroyed the relationship with the animals. They just messed up everything. They was down here on some Lilo and Stitch type shit. Just for real. That's what the movie about, Lilo and Stitch. Because Lilo happens to be Mulan. Stay woke. Don't they look just alike? Stay woke. But I'm about to get out of here. And I'm going to talk to y'all beautiful souls real soon. Okay? All right. Peace, y'all. Peace.